flowers that bloom in the spring. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Hi, I love spring. It's my favorite time of year. I like the pussy willows. I like the warm sunshine. I like the new green leaves on the tree. I like to hear the birds singing. And I love all these flowers that bloom on the plants in my garden, on the trees and the shrubs. I like all these things, but best of all, I like the animals. I'll bet you do too. This young chick, half down and half feathers, hatched from an egg just a few weeks ago, and look at her now, strutting around, pecking for food, eating and sleeping. She's getting stronger and bigger every day. Well, she's really on her way to becoming a full-grown hen who will one day lay eggs of her own. And look at this baby bunny. Isn't he cute? Wow, so soft and cuddly. Look at the long hind legs and the little puffed tail. You know, when he was born, he was only about as long as a crayon. Now he's getting bigger every day. Won't be long before he's a big rabbit, maybe a father rabbit. I wonder, can you tell me, how are the chicken and the bunny and all other animals alike? Well, what's one way they're alike? What are they made of? Yes, cells, that's right. That's one way they're alike. They're all made of cells. But why will the little chick, be a chicken and not a pigeon? And why will the bunny be a rabbit and not a cat? And why won't you be, like our friend here, a rabbit? These sound like silly questions, I know, but are they? Let's try to find out. Why aren't you a rabbit? Well, I suppose because a baby rabbit has to have a mama rabbit and a papa rabbit. And the mama rabbit herself has to have a mama rabbit and a papa rabbit. And the papa rabbit has to have a mama rabbit and a papa rabbit. And I could go on like that until I was out of breath and you had fallen asleep listening. But you weren't born a rabbit or a chicken. Instead, you're a human animal, like my three babies, Lisa, Emily, and Sarah. They're human because their father is human, and I am human too. And my husband's mother and father are human, and my mother and father are human, and so on. You know, people have known for a long time that living things make new living things of their own kind. Elephants make elephants, sparrows make sparrows, and people make people. Why is this? How can this be when all living things are made of cells? Is there some secret? Is there some secret that will explain all these things? Yes, there is. And the secret is in your cells. We're going to look at the same movie of a cell dividing that we looked at once before. This time, look at the dark gray threads inside the cell. You see them dividing and pulling apart. Those dark threads are very important because that's where the secrets are. The dark threads are made up of little tiny parts called genes. Genes are little packages of information. Your genes contain the information that decided what you would look like when you were born. When you look at a cell, remember our cell model? You see usually three main parts. There's the cell membrane that goes around the outside, and the watery, jelly-like living cytoplasm inside. And then here in the middle is the most important part of all, the nucleus. The dark threads that are made up of genes, those packages of information, are right here. You see them? In the nucleus. They contain the information that decided what you would be like when you were born. Now, what are some of the things that your genes decide for you? Well, first of all, they decide what kind of animal you're going to be, that you're going to be a human animal, and that you will have all the parts and the organs and the features that make you like other humans. This, and other things too, are decided for you right from the beginning, from your beginning, when you were just one cell. Nod your head, yes or no, if you know what a blueprint is. Ah, well, some of you do, and some of you don't. Well, a blueprint is a plan for building something. This is a blueprint of my place, as though you were looking down on it from above. This is the porch. This shows where the window seat is, and the divider that I like to sit on, and the door. And this is the room where I'm standing now. This is the wall with all the cupboards and shelves on it. Now, this part of the blueprint shows what the cupboards and shelves look like, the way we usually see them. It's the plan that the carpenter worked from. Now, what does a blueprint have to do with you and your genes? Well, your genes are a blueprint too, for building you. They contain all the information you needed that decided what you would be like when you were born. And the surprising thing about it is that all that information was contained in that very first tiny special cell that you started from. There's a word that we call baby animals before they are hatched or born. The word is embryo. Let's hear you say it. Embryo. Okay. Well, right now, let's look at the embryos of 3 different animals as they grow, beginning from a clump of cells. Let's make it a game. See if you can guess what kind of animal each embryo is. Can you tell now? Okay, can you tell now? No, but the genes in each embryo have the information. Can you tell now? Still no. But isn't this interesting? Although those are embryos of 3 different animals, they all look very much alike. They're all head and tail and eyes. Now can you tell? Oh, I think if you look carefully, that if you look at the one on the right with a beak, you can tell it's an embryo chick or some kind of bird. And the one on the left with a snout and the curly tail is an embryo pig. And the one in the middle, yes, it's a human baby. And you know, it's only been growing for a very short time. So, the first thing your genes decide for you is what? What kind of animal you're going to be. Right. And your genes also decide whether you're going to be a boy or a girl. Where do your genes come from? From your parents. Half of them come from your mother, and half of them come from your father. The things that you get from your parents through your genes, we say you inherit. Inherit is a very useful word. Can you say it? Inherit. Oh, fine. Well, what are some of the things that you inherit from your parents through their genes? What are some of those other things that your genes decide for you? Well, color, for one thing. The genes decide how many grains of color you will have in your skin. You inherit your skin color from your parents. And they got theirs from their parents, who got theirs from their parents, who got theirs from their parents, who got theirs from their parents, and so on, all the way back to the first people on Earth. Nobody knows for sure just what color skins they had. And your genes also decide what color eyes you will have and what color your hair will be. Oh, and whether your hair will be curly or straight. What else do you inherit? Well, since half of your genes come from your mother and half of them from your father, maybe you look a little bit like each of them. And maybe you look more like one than the other. My daughter Emily has eyes that are shaped like, and a chin that is shaped like her father's. Do you see how round his chin is? But Lisa is much different. She has a longer, thinner face and a turned-up nose. And where do you think she got those, I wonder? That's right, from me. And you know what? The genes in your body cells will decide what your children will be like if you have children of your own someday. Well, we've been talking a lot about the things that you inherit. Are there some things you don't inherit? Are there some things that your genes don't decide for you? Let's think about that. Did your genes decide what your name would be? Did your genes decide what language you would learn as a baby? Did they decide what you would wear on the first day of school? Of course not. Your parents gave you your name, and you spoke the language you heard spoken as a baby. And you and someone at home decided what you would wear on the first day of school. Oh, and here's another question. Why will you be spending so many years of your life in school? Isn't it because there are so many things that you don't inherit? Things that you need to learn and want to learn? And as you grow older, there are more and more things that you can choose to learn and choose to do. You can choose whether you're going to take good care of yourself so that you'll grow up healthy and look and feel your best. And you can choose whether you're going to be kind and considerate of other people's feelings. Everybody has feelings, don't they? And you can choose what your hobbies will be and what you will study. You can choose what you will be when you grow up. And what will you be? Who knows the answer to that secret? It's nobody else but you.
All About You is a project of the Agency for Instructional Television.